Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about brushes, the differences between them, and which each one is used for. We'll start off with steel brushes. Steel brushes are going to be used mainly to clean the base and to help restore structure to a ski. So the skis have structure in them that help them glide better on the wax, or help them glide better on the snow. As you go glide across the snow, that structure is going to wear out. The steel brush helps restore that structure to the ski so that your skis glide much easier and better down the snow. So there's a couple different, I guess you could call grains of, there's a medium and a coarse or a fine texture of steel brushes. So the medium one's really going to help bring out that structure, and the fine one's going to help polish and bring out some of the finer structure. So depending on your structure, depends on which brush you're going to use. Moving on from there, you go to a bronze brush. Bronze brushes really are the workhorses of the brushes. They're the most versatile. You can use these to help clean out your base before you wax, to help get all the dirt and grit and oil and stuff off the base. And then also you can use them post-waxing after you scrape off the wax to get the bulk of the wax out of the structure of the ski. You want the wax to be in the ski base itself, and you don't want it to be on the base. So these are the workhorses. If you're going to have one brush or only two brushes, you definitely want one of them to be a bronze brush. Again, there's different textures. There's a fine, a coarse, and a medium. So depending on what you're doing, depends on what coarseness you want. From there, you move on to a nylon brush. And again, there's a couple different nylon brushes. These are the stiffer and medium ones, the whites and the blacks. These are going to use, again, post-waxing after you use a bronze brush to help clean out the structure, to remove more wax. These will also help polish them as well. From there, you've got some like boar's head or a horsehair brush. These will help remove all the fine fibers from the structure of the wax, post like a nylon brush. When you're waxing, after you scraped up all the wax, you're going to use this, and it's going to remove all the fine particles. And lastly, you've got another nylon brush. It's a blue one. It's a softer coarseness. This is going to be very fine. It's going to really be used for polishing the wax. So you get a nice polished surface for a very smooth glide. Okay, before we do our recap, there's a couple other brushes that we're going to talk about as well that I forgot to talk about earlier. One of them, and these are more for polishing, when you use like a rub-on wax or a powdered wax, like some of the Sierras, the high-end waxes that are applied right before like the start of a race and stuff like that. There's a combi brush like this, where it's a combination between the blue nylon for polishing and then a felt as well. So you use the blue nylon to rub it in, or the felt to kind of rub it in, and the powdered wax in, and actually polish it and heat it up to actually work it into the base, and then you use the blue nylon to kind of polish it off and get off the excess. A couple other ones, there's some synthetic cork. This was popular a couple years ago. It's not so much now, but some people still like it. Again, it's for polishing, rubbing in powdered waxes or F4s like liquid waxes, paste wax, stuff like that. And then there's natural cork as well. Some of them have felt combis as well. Again, that's going to be for rubbing in the powder, the polishing of F4s, rub-on waxes, stuff like that. One other type of brush that's pretty popular, especially if you're doing a lot of bulk waxing, it's called a Roto Brush. That's actually where there's a shaft that goes into a drill. You got a handle here, and the brush spins. And these are really nice if you're going to be doing a lot of skis. A lot of teams will use these. You'll see professional waxers use these. We use it a lot here in the shop. The advantage of this is that it's high RPM, so you don't have to sit there and do like 20 strokes. You just, get the drill going, and you can turn it, and it just matter of a couple seconds, you're done with your brushing. These come in a lot of varieties of brush types. There's the blue nylons, there's a white nylon, black nylon, there's the horsehair, and there's also a Roto cork brush. And again, the cork brushes are going to be used for polishing in the powdered waxes, or your Sierra, stuff like that, your liquid applications. So if you're going to be doing a lot of waxing, definitely a good investment with the Roto brushes, because it's going to save you a lot of time, a lot of energy in the end. As you can see, there's various types of brushes. If you choose the right one, it's going to make waxing much, much easier. It's going to make your skis faster and glide smoother, and therefore easier turning.